My dear friends, in this video, I am going to show you a beautiful attacking game played by the legendary Garry Kasparov, where he hunts down the white king and brutally finishes him. If you have ever played such a game, let me know in the comments below. And I can tell you this, the way Kasparov attacks the white king in this game is a dream game to play for many chess players, especially attacking chess players. Without wasting any more time, let's get into the game. F4. Kasparov now plays d5. By the way, the f4 opening is known as the bird's opening. And the standard way to play against the bird's opening is to go e5, although d5 is also played. But e5 is considered to be very critical for white. If white takes on e5, then you play d6 and you gambit one more pawn. And the point is, now this diagonal is weakened and very quickly black is threatening this checkmate on h4. So let's say white plays a time pass move like this. The game is already over before move number 7. That's it. Black wins. Okay. So e5 is the dangerous line here. In the game, Kasparov chooses to go d5, which is also fine. Now there comes this move, knight f3. And both sides continue to, develop their pieces regularly. Yeah. And we reach this position where Kasparov gives up the bishop, fights for the center, and long castles. Okay, so one of the key features that you must observe in the position is there are two kings on the opposite side of the board, and whenever there is a situation where two kings are on the opposite sides, it means a war is about to start very soon. Since black king is located here, white wants to attack on the queen side, okay, so that he can expose the black king and checkmate, and for that he's going to push all his pawns forward. At the same time, black wants to attack this king on the king side, and he's going to push all his pawns to attack it. So first it's white's turn here, so white goes c4, immediately starting the attack. Now Kasparov plays the move dc4, and this is an important move to make, because if you, let's say, play a move like this, white will simply take this pawn and he gets a c file, he gets an open c file, and you don't want that. You don't want to open a file near your king. So what Kasparov does here is he takes this pawn, and now white also takes back, and white gets this open d file in return. Okay. However, for the advantage for Kasparov in this line is he still has these three pawns in front of the black king. He starts his own attack by pushing the pawn to h5. We have queen c2. Kasparov pushes his pawn even more. We have knight c3. Captures. Already this pawn has marched forward and softened up white's structure on the king side. Okay, so there is some little weakness on the king side. And now Kasparov decides to soften up white's position even more. He takes, and now he goes for a crazy move. Can you find it? Black to play. Remember, you want to open up this king, open up the king's position, and you want to do it very fast. What would you play? In the game, Kasparov went for the move g5. Beautiful move. The idea is just to remove all these pawn cover in front of the white king. And once the white king is left without a pawn cover, all of black's pieces will have a very clear target to aim at. Okay. So g5, not fearing the sacrifice of the pawn, not fearing the pin on this diagonal after knight e4. White does go knight e4. Kasparov takes the knight. He takes the knight. And you may ask, okay, isn't he losing the exchange here? Yes, he is losing the exchange, but after knight g3, he's winning one pawn back. At the same time, he has a huge attack against this king. So that's why white didn't take bishop into h8. White realizes the danger. Instead, white took this knight and also saved the pawn. And now Kasparov simply played this move rook g8. He gets the rook on the same file as the king. At the same time, now there is a threat of gf4. If you play a move like f5, you're going to lose this pawn. You're going to lose that pawn. Okay. So white decides, okay, I need to kick this bishop away. Now Kasparov simply gives a check. King moves gf4. Effortless. And he simply opens up the position of the white king side. White pushes the pawn. Now Kasparov takes the knight, and it looks like the position is about to collapse for white. However, just in time, white manages to trade off the queens. Okay, if black doesn't play queen d7, he's losing this knight. So black decides to play queen d7 here and captures. We reach this position. It looks like white has successfully managed to evade the attack. Yes, he's down a lot of material, but it looks like he's managed to evade the attack. However, Kasparov being Kasparov, he knows how to attack even when there are no queens on the board. So after knight into d7, white plays king h3. Kasparov goes knight b6, taking a name at this pawn. There comes the move bishop f6, attacking the rook. Kasparov goes rook t3, pins the bishop. Now there comes the move rook c1. Now he gets the knight back to d7, asks this bishop what the bishop is doing. And once the bishop moves, there is nobody to stop the pawn from marching 2 steps forward. Now there is a threat to capture here, and since this bishop is pinned, it cannot capture back and the bishop would be lost. So the king decides to run, so that after fg4, now the bishop can take back the pawn. However, now the king is the one who's becoming a target of attack. Oops, why did I draw an arrow like that? I don't know. Now there comes bishop e7 check. The king jumps forward. Now there comes rook g5 check. The king is getting hunted. King h6. Now there comes rook d6 check. King h7. Knight f8 check. The king is hunted, and finally it lands on h8, where it gets checkmated in one move. Can you find the checkmate? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed watching this game, do consider liking the video and do consider subscribing to my channel if you like watching classics. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to watch more of Garry Kasparov magic, go check this game out on the screen. Thank you.